At the end of UFC 274, the lightweight championship belt was left vacant, but the priority right to fight remained with Charles Oliveira, which was confirmed by Dana White. Therefore, the question of who will become the next rival to him is open. After the tournament, many people called out to fight for the title: Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, and the main beneficiary of the last tournament, Chandler. Of course, in these showdowns, the main money bag of all MMA is also mentioned, Conor McGregor. You can say what you want about the Irishman, but his name is still well known. Now, the layouts about the future of lightweight are as unpredictable as possible. The last time this happened was when Khabib Nurmagomedov retired from the sport in October 2020. Let's find out what the future holds for us. The failed weight race did not affect the performance of Charles Oliveira, and he, not without hassle, choked Justin Gaethje, thereby proving who is number one in this division. Since Khabib's comeback is not expected, Charles is deservedly considered the best. Now he has a long list of people who want to fight for the title, and Oliveira finally decided to act from a position of strength. Even in the octagon, I said that it would be nice to fight Conor, but remember what happened when I was 7th in the ranking? I called each of the tops, but none of them paid attention. Let the matchmakers deal with this issue, and my team will already choose. It's time for others to beg me, Oliveira said at a press conference after UFC 274. The fighters who called out Charles for a fight are Islam Makhachev, Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, and Nate Diaz. Now Charles will choose an opponent for his own reasons and not on a sporting basis, although he does not own the belt, and in which case Dana White can change his mind and move Oliveira away from a title fight. According to the logic of selection, the least desirable opponent of the Brazilian is Makhachev, who is almost the most eager to fight and most deserving of a fight. With the support of Khabib, he has big chance, and with the Eagle support, there is a serious argument in the behind-the-scenes games. Charles can be much more profitable to choose from those with whom he has already fought. They are Poirier and Chandler. The peculiarity of Oliveira lies in the fact that he knows how to get up after heavy blows, so he knows what to prepare for. In addition, Charles himself is able to knock out anyone. But if the Brazilian wants to please the UFC boss, then he has to fight with McGregor. But I don't know if that is the correct solution. I'm not sure I want to lose weight. I really like being like a big refrigerator, but I would love to fight a Brazilian 100%. I love Brazil and I am invincible in fights with the Brazilians. It will be necessary to think about it, McGregor wrote. Makhachev has been dreaming of a championship fight for a long time. He stayed on a baggy diet and is eager to fight against the tops. Beneil Dariush is recovering from an injury, so he is quiet on social media. Before Islam in the rankings are Poirier, Gaethje, and Oliveira. Gaethje lost 2 title fights in the last year and a half. Dustin is not eager to fight Khabib's successor, but Oliveira is in no hurry and he refuses to fight with Islam. Islam Makhachev did not disregard the statement of Charles Oliveira, who announced that he did not plan to fight him in the next fight, suggesting that the Russian fight with Beneil Dariush. Charles, it's funny that you challenge Nate Diaz, who hasn't won for several years, and at the same time say that I have to deserve something. Just say you are afraid of losing. Your jiu-jitsu won't work in our fight and you know it, the Russian wrote on social networks in response to an interview with the Brazilian. That jiu-jitsu might not work is a yes. Islam is great at counterattacking when it comes to fighting, and this is the only real weapon Islam has against Oliveira. If the fight happens, then Islam will do everything to drag Oliveira to the ground. Charles, on the contrary, will, oddly enough, leave the fight. We'll try to work in the standing game and then we'll see who wants to be the champion the most.
Charles versus Islam works. And that wasn't true a week ago. And it wasn't true a week ago because of Charles. People that really like Charles and are trying to get on the bandwagon did not want that fight. Because Islam's going to go out and not only beat him, he's going to beat him for 5 rounds. And if you do look at Oliveira today, it's very different. I'm comparing him with Islam. That specific match, you look at that very different. From coming to a conclusion that Islam is going to be the next champion, all the way down to Islam is the rightful champion, all the way down that Islam is the absolute best, all the way down to the only person I can even question is Islam, is Khabib. Where you then have teammates and coaches, Coach Javier, just by example, coming out and comparing the two of them. Islam got so good in our minds, and it may actually be, but whether you are or not, you don't want to convince people, right? It's one of those things. If everybody knows it, right, it can become a problem. So when you do have people that are gung-ho and jiu-jitsu is back and submitting people on the ground, and I told you so and I knew that this worked. When you have that, but now that is going to be tested. Because it's either going to work or it's not. If Islam's on top of this guy for 25 minutes, Islam has no jiu-jitsu background, and he mauls this guy for 25 minutes, you see where that starts to hurt people's feelings. You see where, okay, there's more on the line here. It's more on the line than just a championship and a beautiful record. There's something greater that actually brings back nostalgia because it precedes current time and it goes back to the predication of the entire sport.
Charles is calling out rivals with big names, not those who deserve a fight for the title. Islam would have to beat one of the interim champions such as Poirier or Gaethje and Dariush, and then he can safely get the title fight. After fighting Dariush, I'm sure that then it will start again that he didn't beat anyone from top, so I think Islam has no chance this time to fight next in the fight with Oliveira. And Dana White is also in no hurry to give Islam what it wants, and deserves. Due to the failure of the fight with Rafael dos Anjos, the head of the UFC held a grudge and insists on a fight with Dariush, but there is a possibility that Dana will change his mind. It's clear where the wind blows from. Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier are good friends, and also Khabib and Cormier are well known to everyone that they are like brothers, and Islam is good friends with him. Even if Khabib himself and Ali Abdelaziz intervene in the work of the headquarters, the likelihood that the big boss will change his mind will not increase much, since pay-per-view numbers are important to him. And Islam is no match for McGregor in this category. And let's not forget that Oliveira also has the right to vote. Comment what you guys think about it. Don't forget about Michael Chandler. The front kick on Tony Ferguson gave him a solid media boost. The UFC leadership retained Michael for his fifth line and pushed down Beneil Dariush. In front of him are Oliveira, Poirier, Gaethje, and Makhachev. Immediately after the fight with El Cucuy, Chandler challenged Conor McGregor. He then took to social media to challenge Oliveira, whom he had lost to last year. Okay, I just watched UFC 274. Congratulations Oliveira, but I will finish you in 2 rounds in a rematch. See you this summer or fall. Who wants to see this rematch? Chandler wrote. But on the wave of hype, Chandler was so dispersed that at the same time he threw bait to Nate Diaz. Oddly enough, Diaz agreed and asked to send him a contract. On the other hand, Chandler has one taker who hasn't fought since last December. This is Dustin Poirier. Michael Chandler says a lot of names, but I can't hear mine, Dustin wrote. It would be a great fight with a big billboard. But Chandler did not show any interest, not answering him in any way to a subtle collision. Looks like it's time for Diamond to pack his welterweight suitcase. Colby Covington is waiting. Also, the main couch critic of the UFC this year, Nate Diaz, since Dana White still hasn't given the Stockton gangster a date for the fight, he has to grumble on social media. I would strangle Charles Oliveira, it's very easy, Diaz wrote. But under the circumstances, this is the most uninteresting candidate for Oliveira. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our second channel where we also post interesting videos about the MMA world. And also like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, as it helps this channel to grow.